Welcome everyone to Silvermoon tonight. This is the first episode that we ever made. We can't wait to share it all with you. Now let me introduce my co-host. His name is LasseOfSwe. And with us, we also have NikaLogy.
Hello, guys.
NikaLogy, first of all, is it okay if we call you Kneecap?
Yes, I can accept that.
Thank you. Now, most of you don't know me. Some of you may write literally who. But my name is Krizzobtw. I play Holy Paladin among many other healers. I've played in Remnant. I recently failed my trial in Envy. And now I'm sort of back on Silvermoon and I'm doing this great show with my boy, Lasse.
Hello everyone, I am LasseOfSwe. I am formerly the best arcane mage on Silvermoon. Recently moved onwards to Kazakh, where I'm currently on a trial in the guild pool 10, by the way. And I'm currently the third best arcane mage in the West out of 3.
Okay.
And who are you, Kneecap?
Yeah, I'm Kneecap. I am the currently residing best discipline priest on Silvermoon, which obviously makes me the best disc priest in the world. A rank that I got when Blurbs left, because he is god and way better than I am. So yeah, I am currently the best disc priest by a lot. That's my credentials.
So,
I play disc.
That's cool. Now,
so
Lasse,
today,
why don't you take us over the agenda of today?
Yeah, today's agenda. We got a lot of fun stuff on the schedule today. First of all, we know you all want to hear about this. We're going to talk about Polar and what is the current state of Polar, and a new guild called This Is Fine. We are going to talk a bit about what's happening on Silvermoon in general. Going to talk about the secret group called Remnant. Of course, we're going to talk about what guilds to invest in, who's going to be the new top guild on Silvermoon, and a bit like that. We're also going to take some viewer questions when we're about to be done. And of course, we are going over the state of Disc Priest in BFA beta.
Of course, Lasse. We are always... Disc Priest is something that we enjoy to listen to a lot.
Yo, best WoW stream EU hype.
Yes.
Oh, I need to turn off
Some people might call me Automatic Jack from time to time because I talk a lot about Disc Priest, but I know everyone here is very interested in it.
I mean,
So
Disc
I
Priest...
feel it needs to be said.
Disc Priest is by far the best class in the game. So yeah, I can understand why people would want to,
Yeah,
listen to that.
Imagine playing a Resto Druid or a Holy Paladin. Ugh.
Complete dribbler spec. I know.
Yeah, disgusting.
So, before we start, I would like to give a big shout out to a sponsor who made our cool avatars. And his Instagram can be found in the description down below. So, go and follow him.
Also, he has a Patreon, but he didn't link it. So
Yeah,
find it.
bad.
But yeah. So Lasse, Polar.
Yes. Polar. So, we all know that Polar is the flavor of the week. So what recently happened to Polar was that some of their best raiders decided to leave. Or did they decide to leave? That's the actual question.
Oof.
Because we have insider information about some leaked Google documents, which apparently led to what might be the death of Polar.
As we know it,
The
right?
best guild in the world.
Yeah, as we know it. The Polar as we know it.
The Polar as we know it,
Polar
yeah.
might go on.
You
So,
never know.
what is actually going on? Because like a good bunch of the Polar people who were almost a top 100 guild left.
I think it's important to stress almost.
Yeah, almost.
There's a
Almost.
very big difference from top 100
Top 100? Yeah.
to Polar,
Yeah,
Yeah.
112.
112 or
About
something.
Exactly 12 spots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spots.
Yeah.
But almost top 100. And they like after all these guys got leaked from the Google Doc, they kind of changed guild to a guild called This Is Fine on Ragnaros. And that's exciting. It's a shit name, by the way, for a guild.
Very shit name.
honestly,
And
really,
the best
really
part
bad.
is we had insider information on other names that they were gonna maybe take, and I think it's fair to say that the name Remnant was probably the best one in the pool.
Yes, I heard a certain someone possibly an incredibly good player, amazing player, by the way, who might have actually requested them to name the guild Remnant, which would have indeed been a good name. Way better than This Is Fine. It's a terrible name.
It's a terrible name, and we all know that 3-word guilds or names are just it's just not something that works.
Exactly. It needs to be like a one-word name, like Method or Exorcist or Fat Shark. Yes.
Yes, 1-word name guilds rule.
I mean, if you are in a, and that's to every viewer out there, if you are in a guild, say with more than 1 word, you might as well just leave because you're not going anywhere. That's for sure.
I mean, the only exception I can see where more than 1 word would make sense is if you're in a guild called like Pull 10. By the way,
Yeah.
that's a good guild.
That's a good guild.
It's like it's the exception that makes the rule.
It really is.
But okay, back to This Is Fine.
Yes.
Yes,
No.
we have some information regarding the leak, that it might very well have been somebody who were approached by aggressive authority, as they were now known as This Is Fine, who did not particularly like them and might very well have leaked this information to Kona. There's actually some leaks that a person
Can
who
you
were
can
approached
you
by
clarify
them.
for us who's Kona?
Kona is the resto druid that is not quite as good as Chuck X is. He's probably one of the best in the world, but Chuck is significantly better.
And what is his state of guild?
Whose guild?
Who is Kona? Where did he play?
Kona is the guild master of Polar, which
Alright.
is the best guild in the world, ranked 112.
Okay, so that's good because I wouldn't actually know who he was if you hadn't clarified.
Yeah, exactly.
No one really probably even knows him.
No. He's a bit of a no-name, and he's also worse than Chuck X is.
Okay. Where did we come from? Okay, so now we know who Kona is, and we kind of also know that he plays in Polar, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You say, Nika, that the leaked information that we're gonna see in a bit, because we actually still we have the document. I know it's completely rare footage, but we do have the document, and we're gonna show the world this document. You say it came from one from outside. Well, I've heard that it might have been someone from the inside of the aggressive authority.
Ooh,
What's your thoughts on this?
that sounds pretty spicy, to be fair. Like, I would not have expected somebody from the inside of aggressive authority to actually leak this information.
No, because I mean, it creates this space or this atmosphere in the guild that there might be a rat or a snake in the guild. You know,
A snack?
a fucking snake, dude.
Are you sure it's a snack?
It might be. It might be.
Then
I
it's
just-
gotta be a very big snack, right?
I just think that it's gonna be like that. This is fine, or aggressive authority, or whatever you want to call them, or bad guild name. It could be anything.
We got some rumors from the chat here that it might be Squadbra.
Is
Believe
Quadbra? How do you say that? Is
He's
quack.
quack, bruh.
Squadbra.
I've heard he's very big. Heard he's a big guy.
all right. We also have someone saying it's Gum. That's kind of a weird name because that's Gum.
Chew. Hello.
Oh, I squat. Bruh. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes more sense then. But they need to look inside as well just to see if there is a rat. Because I mean, if you're creating a top 100 guild, you need to not have any leaks, anyone that could hurt the guild in the long run when it comes to actually recruiting. Because then they might just repoach. You know, they get a good player and then this guy poaches the players back to Polar. If that's the case.
That would be really unfortunate. And then
So
Polar
it's
might
like an
actually like
inside
some-
double job, like a double whammy, where they leak it and ruin Polar, so they split up into 2 guilds. And
Yeah.
then they end up recruiting the players back into Polar.
Yeah, actually, like, we've seen it before where the larger guilds they use the better guilds use the worse guilds as a breeding ground where they poach players who develop in worse guilds to come and play in their guild. So that could be something that this potential snake could be doing with aggressive authority,
Yes.
creating a breeding ground for developing raiders.
That would not be good.
That would not be good, no. Not for Polar, not for Silvermoon, at least. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about Silvermoon. Because, I mean,
all about Silvermoon.
it's all about
the
Silvermoon.
greatest alliance server
The
in
best
the world.
server.
The best server in the world.
Imagine playing Horde. Ugh. Makes me
Oof.
shiver.
Oof. Even
I
though...
can see the chat has a lot of hate towards this Fisherman guy, and I would like you to keep it PC. That's not cool.
That's not cool.
Not cool.
It's not cool. We have to
Not cool.
respect people.
And
Apart
I,
from
I would like to
strength.
say to anyone watching that Silvermoon tonight does not share the views of chat, and we take any kind of distance we can from any hate speech that might be out there.
And from the chat in general.
Definitely. Yeah.
And while we're on the subject, I would like to say a word from our sponsor. If you need an avatar just like this, you can find his Instagram just down below in the description.
It's come from a fine price of only 500 gold.
500 gold.
500,000 gold
500K.
specifically.
Yeah.
Gold in game.
Now we've talked about the rat, potential rat.
Potential.
I think we should put some hard evidence on the table now with some pictures.
I think that's a good idea.
yeah.
We had some pretty hard evidence here.
Or
Very hard.
should we show the videos that also came with the leaked footage?
Oh yeah,
I
the
think we
kids
should
on
show the videos first.
Videos first,
To
okay.
give context to the.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I would just like to advise chat to maybe turn down a little bit because these videos are very loud. But yeah, let's go with them. That is the leaked footage. We waited that. Let's do the first one.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now.
That's the first one. Let's see the other one. Okay, that's lagging. Oh, it's a bad link.
This is America.
So, what do you guys think of this?
I think the first of all, the first video is obviously very, very hard-hitting evidence, and it's probably the reason why Polar, as we know it, is obviously dead. So that was the original part of the original leak. The original leak was obviously the Google Docs we saw in the background, but accompanied by this fantastic meme video.
Yeah.
Don't-
I think that if we talk regarding the first video, we see a lot of hard evidence. We see the raid schedule.
Mhm.
We also see that they have an extra raid day for the first 3 weeks of Mythic progression.
Should I pull up the image? Do we want to keep talking? I feel like I should talk. We should talk a little bit about how this
Okay.
childish Gambino video is also symbolic in the sense that he shoots
Yeah.
people. And
He shoots people.
he shoots people. He literally takes a gun and shoots people.
Yeah,
And
I think
Exactly.
that's a wrong message, and I think that as a person, I would advise everyone to go against violence because it's obviously not cool and not PC.
Not at all.
But I think it's very symbolic, and I don't know in which way because what it seems to me is that This Is Fine is getting shut down.
Mhm.
And that's not what is happening. Actually, I think like Polar is being shot right here.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it seems like the first video really shows the side of This Is Fine, where you can see that I would assume that it's that the black man in the video is This Is Fine or Aggressive Authority shooting the old guild.
Yeah, shooting the old Polar man up in Kona.
Exactly.
Backstabbing Kona.
Backstabbing, boom, backstab, boom, right? And then the other video is the other side of the story where we see Kona actually shooting the traitors.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a two-way thing where the Aggressive Authority or This Is Fine members were leaving the guild, but at the same time Kona was kicking people,
Oh yeah,
shooting them down violently.
I also have. We also know about some evidence. I unfortunately didn't get a hold of it for today, but that the leadership of Polar already knew months before this happened that this might have been something that could happen.
Where did you get this information from?
I cannot tell you about my sources, but it was pretty hard-hitting evidence.
Is the source worse than Chuck X?
Perhaps. Now, I don't know Chuck X, but you are obviously a much more respected member of the Druid community. So let's put up the image of the leak photo. Let's look at it. Let's see.
So I think there is a lot of fine information in this image. So we get like the actual info of the guild, if we look towards the top right corner, see that they aim to be top 100 or top 70 after first tier.
Oh,
Same
that's
tier,
that's
so
ambitious.
that's
That's
already
ambitious.
Significantly
Really
higher than
ambitious.
Polar, which we once again need to establish is not a top 100 guild.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's important to stress that Polar is not a top 100 guild.
Yeah, but these guys are obviously aiming for top 100, which is better than Polar, which
And-
is not a top
and it-
100 guild.
And it's already in the first tier. I mean, this is ambitious from these guys.
Yes,
Um,
definitely is.
But I think like it's very very ambitious when you look at the again in the format part top right that there are no splits planned, and there is no PTR testing.
Ooh.
So obviously this guild has needs to have very good players in order to perform this well.
No doubt. Because that's I mean, that's not something you just do. You don't just come into a tier and then just blast it. You know, you kind of need to create some foundation.
Definitely.
So
Not a
yeah,
solid foundation of a very strong core of players, which might very well leave the guild, you know, to
Yeah.
form another guild.
I mean that is the possibility with the so-called rat in the guild that might be there.
Mhm.
Um. Yeah, let's
what
just
I
keep talking.
Interesting is that we have the confirmed roster and we have the maybe roster.
Mhm.
So we can see that I recognize more than one name, about 3 or 4 names in this maybe part. The people who could join.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting that you might get snaked out as maybe this guy wants to join. Because we don't know the intention behind this maybe.
No.
And then maybe they get kicked from the current guild. While this is just a document.
I mean, this could have been a maybe from someone who was like, I kind of want to go horde next expansion, but I'm not sure yet. Put me down as a maybe. And now, boom, he has to fucking go horde. He has to go raid in a guild called This Is Fine, which is not fine.
Yeah, it's obviously not fine. It's 3 words.
3
Like
words.
Not good.
Also, looking at this roster, right?
Mhm.
We obviously have a certain amount of people. We have some of the higher ups in Polar. We have NetPro. We have Gum. We have the meme master Thera, who obviously made the best emote in the world. Keep
Mhm.
yourself safe.
Yeah.
Then there's 2 names that really sticks out to me. One of them is Jazz, who is
Ooh,
a
yeah.
known troll and a terrible tank.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny because, I mean, you never know. I've heard about this guy called Jahaz. I don't really know how to say that name. But Jahaz, yeah, that there's a chance he might not even go because he's just like pulling a leg, you know? He's just making memes.
Yes. I've heard he's a massive patter as well.
Ooh, yeah, I heard about a haste build he ran.
I think a guild of this kind might play with hidden locks, because obviously everyone in this guild would like to pad. Like I can see that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that's could happen. Because I mean, with hard hitters like this, like Blurbs, obviously Nikab, you can tell us a lot more about Blurbs.
Ooh.
You have NetPro, we have Jazz, we have all those guys that all want to have big numbers on their Warcraft logs page. And what do you not get when you have big numbers? Progress
Exactly.
kills.
You have
And-
nothing, then
yeah,
you have
progress kills.
small virtual penis.
And also a small virtual penis, that's what you have.
But now that we actually mentioned it, I thought initially that Blurbs quit World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Do any of you guys know anything about that? Do any of you know anything about Blurbs that you want to share?
He had a rant to a lot of us during one of my streams where he proclaimed that he was quitting forever. Said, "See you in Belfast Wrath." He, however, came back even before Battlefast Wrath actually happened. So he came.
Okay.
He came. It seems like he's coming back way before I expected him to come back.
Is he coming back with a vengeance, or is it just, whatever?
He's probably gonna come back with a vengeance. He's most likely still never going to be able to beat Subs's locks, but he's probably going to have some of the highest locks of any disc priest in the world.
Okay. Do you think he achieves these locks by just doing mechanics, or do you say he asked, "Hey guys, let me do this because I want locks," or do you really think he's gonna achieve them naturally, or are they gonna be artificial?
It's part natural, part artificial. In Polar, obviously, he was the best healer together with Kona, but Kona had a tendency to die in fire, especially on Coven.
Uncommon.
He famously died on their Coven kill, which Blurbs got an amazing pass on. So Kona being greedy and dying to mechanics is one of the leading causes to Blurbs having amazing passes.
Oh, so that's also okay. That's actually smart. So to any of you guys who wants to be a decent healer and want to have good lucks, join a guild where your other healers will die, and you still kill the boss. That's how you're gonna get passes, guys. Do that.
That's a,
I'll tell you, you'll be in method in a year, man.
Actually, I got some inside information here from the chat saying that Blaze was actually already back today. And
Ooh.
earlier today, he ran a heroic puck in Ansar's The Burning Throne. Apparently, they proceeded to wipe out the second boss, the dogs.
Oh, you mean those guys you just tank together and just
Yeah.
ignore mechanics because it's such an easy boss?
So I think that Blurbs definitely has to step up his game in the near future if you want to carry this top 70 guild or top 100, unlike Polar.
Yes.
Now going back to this document, there's something that strikes me very, very much is that the launch date is there. There's a definite launch date.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that they're going to launch earlier now that they have been leaked and now kicked from their previous guilds?
Definitely. If you don't have a place to play right now, I think you're hungry for re-clearing content, like we all do.
But look,
so I definitely think they will start earlier than June.
but if you look at the confirmed roster, there's no way they can clear Mythic with 14 people. They're just not that good. I mean, yes, again they have some hard hitters in their group, but 14 people in a Mythic raid? No way, Jose. No way.
The thing is that even if they just filled this roster out with 6 random players, right? Obviously, you have Squad who has incredibly big arms, right? I think Squad, with his physical and virtual arms, is definitely able to carry the rest of the 6 people. So they should definitely be able to get over the finish line with just 6 dribbling mongoloids as part of the team.
That might be, yeah. I think if I were them, I would go on a recruitment drive as the officers. We can see that is from this document, GUM and NetPro. Just go on a recruitment drive and ask around some people they know who might need a guild.
Yeah.
And post those people.
Do you think they're going to have more success poaching Polar players? Do you think that's something they would actually go back and do?
Considering that what is happening in the chat right now, it seems like a certain hunter who might very well be the best.
Yeah,
have joined the guild as well.
I've heard about this. I've seen the leak footage of a certain hunter leaving the guild. So yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have a 3-day rating, and then the first 3 Mythic weeks will be a Sunday as well. So there's 4 days. They have no alts, so they're not going to split.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of weird considering their ambition. I mean,
Maybe, yeah.
Considering the guys, they should be able to maintain an alt and do 1 split rate. Just at least
Maybe
one.
they're gonna split from the second tier.
Oh yeah, that's actually, I mean, we can't see the whole thing. Yeah, there's initially no splits are planned. That could change, of course.
Obviously will change.
Will change,
sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Is there any more we want to talk to about this document? Or should we...
I think that if the chat has any questions about This Is Fine or Aggressive Authority or whatever their name is, let us know and we'll answer them in a brief moment. And while I have the word, I would like to give a big shout out to our sponsor who made our fine avatars. You can find his Instagram down in the description below and contact him.
And I definitely would recommend you contacting him because these avatars that we have right now are created by the artist formerly known as Joe. And
Yeah,
they're really good. Now let's see if we have any questions from the chat. What about Polar losing the number 100? That we already did that one. Squad has mini calves. Okay, that's not really a question.
There's a question there.
What's the question?
Why is Andy so bad as a DD that he has to play healer next content? So you guys are healing, and I'm DPSing. So I would say from a DPS perspective, you would probably, like, if you suck at attacking the boss, maybe you'd be good at killing your friends. Because obviously if you can't press a rotation, maybe you just need to mash random buttons and then just put some output. So I think that's a good solution for Andy.
I think the reason why he's gonna go healer is because there's a guy named Blurbs in that guild now, and he wants the numbers.
Yeah, he can probably solo heal.
He can probably and he's like he will have this guy who has absolutely no idea how to heal nor DPS apparently, so that he can have good numbers.
Yeah.
I think
Sounds like a
that's
possibility.
I think that's something that Blurs would ask a fellow healer to do, or fellow DPS to go healer to suck at healing, and then get big numbers. All right, let's see else. Krisso, who are you? Legit, no one knows who you are. Well, my name is, as I said in the start, I'm Krisso. I play a Holy Paladin. I have really good locks for DPS, and that's about it. Let's see, what else do we have? Who's Lasse? Lasse, who are you? Let's have it again.
I'm just a random Swede person. I'm from Sweden, obviously.
Obviously.
I'm a good guy. That's all you need to know, I suppose.
He's also the former rank 1, obviously rank 1, not as good as a Test. Obviously, Test is new Lasse, but he was the former rank 1 arcane mage in Silvermoon.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes. Okay, let's see. I think are we done with Polar, or do we want to discuss more about that in general?
No, I think we're about done.
We're about done, yeah. I
think
mean,
that
we're
was
gonna return to Polar in some sense. We're gonna talk about the Silvermoon as a realm in general. So yeah. Many of you may know this guild. Some of you may not, which is a big mistake. But there used to be a guild on Silvermoon called Remnant. Lasse, can you give us a brief description of Remnant?
Yeah, Remnant was a guild who rated for about 1 tier. It seems like about 1 tier. And while not performing super well, their guildmaster left before KJ Mythic. They managed to clear that and go forward into Antaurus, the Burning Throne. But unfortunately, the guild disbanded at Argus due to some severe roster issues. So what I think about Remnant is that a guild isn't always what it seems.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's true. Because I heard some rumors about Remnant actually being a Russian hacker group. Yeah?
I heard that as well.
Oof.
I heard that as well.
I've heard that as well. We might have some insider info about this.
So can you fill us up on that one?
Yeah, so I actually, it was a trick question when I asked Lasse if he knew something about Remnant, because of course I know a lot about Remnant, so do we all. So Remnant is a Russian hacker group that's behind this guild. And if you weren't a real member, you would not have really known what was happening in the guild. But luckily, both me, Lasse, and Nikab were close enough to the leadership that we learned the true meaning. What Remnant was, and what Remnant's vision for Silvermoon was to make the guild or the realm burn. So we might have disbanded as a guild, but we spread out into all of the top 10 guilds, including Polar.
Including Polar. So
yeah,
what
I've heard there was some people in Polar as well from.
Yeah, we had people from Remnant joining Polar, and they like so to say is half dead now.
Yeah.
We also had some people going to Vortex, and Vortex is dead now.
Completely dead. Like completely dead. It could...
Remnant has a lot of people in a Sanctum. Halo, also volatile and balanced.
Yeah.
So I think that we might see these guilds disband very soon, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, we can neither confirm or deny that Remnant was actually involved in the Polar drama, but I think people in the chat can see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
However, just to anyone out there watching, we have one rogue agent known as Kittyfur. We cannot control him. We do not know where he's going to strike next. So if you get a feral druid to your guild, probably decline him. He's probably going to disband your guild or do much worse.
I have heard that he has gone completely rogue and also changed his name.
Now, let's see. We should probably take up a picture of the status of Silvermoon and how far Remnant has come with their vision of seeing the guild or the realm burn to ashes. So if I take up this picture here, known as the kill list, this is an updated version at the moment. We see that Polar obviously dead, Vortex dead, Remnant obviously dead because we had to disband the guild to get the agents out. But you can see that some of them are in progress. So what do you think?
What I think is really important, not important, but about this one, because we said that we had people in a Sanctum and Halo, but if you look at the silver or the server's third best guild, Phoenix.
Mhm.
So what I have to ask you guys is, who the fuck is Phoenix?
Who the
Actually
fuck
do not
are
know.
they? No
Have you
one
ever
knows.
heard of? Have you ever met anyone from fucking Phoenix?
I've never,
Like, what
I've
the
never
fuck?
played a Mythic Plus or a Heroic Dungeon or anything with a guy from Phoenix.
No, I have legit never heard of Phoenix. I mean, Eldritch tends to
I have-
spam the trade chat with selling boost, but Phoenix is like off the fucking grid.
Off the grid, dude. I think they're gonna be really hard to infiltrate and actually disband.
If anyone from the chat is in Phoenix, please let us know.
Yeah, we would like to get a member into your guild. We have really good members who needs a guild.
Yeah.
I have actually heard what there's one thing I've heard about Phoenix.
Mhm.
I've heard that Phoenix has a guy who goes by the name Olivum, who is supposedly an incredibly terrible discipline priest.
Oh damn.
Oof.
And you can obviously say that as the best at this priest in the world. and
Yes.
Silvermoon.
As the resident best discipline priest on Silvermoon since Blurbs left the server, I can definitely and confidently say that Olivum is garbage.
Okay. I mean, we all know the horror when you have a discipline priest who doesn't know how to play discipline priest. Because I mean,
Yes.
what are they? Are they half DPS or half healer? No. They're nothing. They're nothing.
They need to just stop smiting and start healing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if we go down the list again, we see Inner Sanctum. Like Nika, I think you have some insider information about the progress that currently is being done in Inner Sanctum.
Yes. Obviously, Remnant split into many different parts and
Mhm.
infiltrated most of the guilds on the server.
Mhm.
But however, the biggest infiltration happened in the Sanctum.
And why is that?
It's
Why would Inner Sanctum be the place where you would put most people in?
Inner Sanctum it's a legendary guild, right?
Mhm.
There is very few guilds with as big and long as a legacy as Inner Sanctum has. They've been around since 2005. They have had numerous top 10 world kills, and eventually the original roster merged together with Method, allegedly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where Remnant became, or rather, Method became extremely good after this merge.
Okay, didn't know that, but now we know. So again,
Let's see. We have a question from Blurbs XD in the chat. NikaLogy, can you comment on the fact that one of the officers in Inner Sanctum just got banned?
Yes. Allegedly, Enmity, who is the officer, Shadow Priest officer, got slammed with a 1-month ban
oof.
for allegedly account sharing.
Oh. I mean, and just to anyone in the chat who doesn't know, account sharing is something that's usually done by pro players. So this is a really big oof, what the hell kind of thing. Like,
Exactly, because
this is not a pro player. Like he's in a rank 519 guild. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you
top
account
of the
share, man? Right? Okay. Just keep talking, Nika. We'll like to
so
know more.
obviously, Enmity was amazing. He was one of the best disc priests I've obviously seen ever. And allegedly, it might have been a joint effort from some of the other healers in IS to report him and get him banned, so he wouldn't take all of our raid spots.
Oh, and I think
So
we have
there's
a
follow-up
follow-up.
question.
Yeah.
Why does a world rank 519 guild need to account share?
To avoid getting world rank 520.
So
think
do you think that the account share was the other way around, where there's a better player who played on this person who got banned's account? Like,
It is possible. I have heard rumors about it being a certain person who might very well be part of the new This Is Fine guild.
But nobody knows, I guess.
ooh.
Nobody really knows for sure.
Nobody knows.
If you
And no
have
one can confirm.
if you have
It was Jai.
if you have any leads on anything, please send them to Krizzobtw, by the way, on Silvermoon. I take in-game mails. We would like to know
And
more.
gold donations.
And gold donation, obviously, as well. Don't send too much. I don't want to be banned. So and if we go down to Winter's Heart, how's it going there?
Winter's Heart, I have heard many things about Winter's Heart from James himself, obviously.
And who is
And
James?
Winter's Heart might very well be self-destructing at them.
Oh.
They sound very depressed the majority of the time. And
Shit.
their only good player is the Red Paladin.
Is that Feedon? Oh, someone else.
No. Feedon is from Poland.
Oh, I just knew that he was the best red player in the world. So,
Yeah.
but can you? Who is James? I don't know.
You mentioned
James-
James.
The legendary James Marcus, the Scorch spamming monster of a raid leader from
Wait,
Inner Sanctum.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'm confused. Is it James Marcus in one word or two words? Because
It is in 2 words, obviously.
okay, sure.
James Marcus,
Okay.
This spots for different words in between James and Marcus.
Oh, we have a viewer question from Growling TV. What's up with the death to Feedham?
Meme.
And I know quite a lot about this. So this all goes back to the TV show called Black Mirror, where there was an episode where you would say hashtag death to and a person, and the one who would get the most tweets a day would be killed by mechanical beasts.
Oh.
So someone out there is trying to murder Feedham with the sentence death to Feedham.
Oh.
Feedham.
Cannot confirm or deny who this might have been, or
No.
whether what guild they were in. Might have been Inner Sanctum, for example. We don't know for sure.
We don't know for
Don't
sure.
know.
I've heard this before, and he remains anonymous, but I can confirm that he's a Retribution Paladin on Silvermoon.
Yeah, I think I saw it in general chat somewhere.
Can
I
also confirm
have
that
I have a picture, by the way, that's directly linked to this Death to Feeden meme, and I think we should bring it up just quickly, just to talk about it. And
Okay.
and the question I would like to ask people is, should Feedon have mod
In this channel,
in any channel?
in that channel, should Feedham have mod? That's a
I
good
don't know.
question.
That is a very good question.
I don't know Feedham. Is he a good guy? Can anyone from the chat tell us? Do anyone knows?
Can anyone tell us if this guy deserves mod? Because I've never spoken a word to this guy. I don't think any of us have really. So we have a
We are
Blurbs.
getting a quick confirmation from Blurbs that Feeden does not deserve Templar.
in
So that is very sad, obviously. That
okay.
he does not deserve mod.
well,
It is a good question, however, and one that should be asked very often. But it seems like the verdict currently is no. He does not deserve mod.
no. Now I
Maybe
think
one day Taff will finally be able to sacrifice himself for Feeden's mod status, but we do not know
we do not know.
as of yet.
We've gone over Silvermoon. We've talked about the progress. I think we should go just a little bit back to Polar and talk about where they're going now. Because we've talked about this is fine. We've talked about the progress in Halo and in Inner Sanctum, but we haven't actually talked about, is there actually a future for Polar?
We are not sure as of now. We do not know what the plans of Kona is, the plans of Feeden is, how they're going to rebuild the guild. They seem to be very positive right now. They seem to be full of PMA attitude.
Yeah,
Which is obviously a good thing, that he wants to rebuild and get the guild off the ground again. Maybe even compete for a top 400 spot if they're lucky, but we really don't know.
I mean, I think I heard someone say something like, when you cut off the head of Hydra, 2 more will appear.
Yes,
I think that's the kind of attitude they're going in towards BFA with.
definitely.
So what we see now that you opened the Polar webpage here, you see that they're recruiting like a fair bit. My first question is, who the fuck is recruiting a fucking arcane mage? Like, are you dumb?
Are you dumb? And why would they not recruit a survival hunter, considering that was one of the best DPS? And
That's a
they're
good
also recruiting a Mistweaver monk. I mean, this must be a meme. I mean, this is a meme, right? This is a meme.
It sure sounds like a meme actually trying
You
to
should have seen that
mix
this
it
is
amongst.
no longer a close to top 100 guild.
Also, oh, Blurps has a very, very good question. The website lists Polar as having world 98th rank, when they did indeed not break top 100.
I think the reason for that is that sometimes you have an illusion and a lie you keep telling yourself so much that you at the end believe it. I think that's what we have here.
I do also have some insider information about why Polar did not make top 100.
Mhm.
And according to my sources, it is because Mr. Blurbs himself did obviously not pull enough DPS during phase 1 of Ark's progression.
Oh,
That is what my sources tell me. That was the reason why
Oof.
they did indeed not make top 100.
Oh, that's a heavy burden to bear. Like going to bed every night thinking, why did I not press my mind bend on cooldown?
Yes,
I mean, it's just something like that just breaks a man.
it
that breaks
definitely does.
I
It
would
is,
be,
it
I
is
would be
very, very
heartbroken.
hard.
So we are pretty sure that Polar is probably gonna come back on their feet. Are they gonna be just as good, or are they gonna take a few hits on the world rank?
I think they're
think
gonna
they
take a massive hit.
I
Massive
think
hit.
they might take a very big hit, yeah.
But I think they might like maybe not next year, but in 2 tiers they might be good again. Who knows? Maybe Phoenix is gonna be the rank 1 on Silvermoon.
It could
Again, who the
possibly
fuck
happen.
are they?
Yeah, exactly. Who are Phoenix? Well, I hope we will see more to them, and actually, hopefully, some of their raiders will contact us for a interview at some point, so we can
That would be
actually
great.
learn who Phoenix are.
My sources have actually confirmed, going back to the Argus point, that a certain someone might very well have made a very long break during the encounter just to look over Blurp's passes and his logs.
Oof.
Look at his cast sequences
Oof.
and gone very, very rough in on him.
Oof. Oof. I would not like to be Blurps right now. Oof.
Me neither.
Now,
could
and a
not
word from our
carry
sponsor.
this.
Yeah.
If you would like to have avatars like these made, go seek out Joe. He is also known as Demon Harambe, and my name Jeff on Silvermoon. He takes 500k per avatar.
They're great.
They're
very
really
good.
great.
You can see the quality on the stream. You can see the exquisite coloring and the fantastic line job that has been done.
What's next on the agenda, Lasse?
I think that we are going on to look into the future of Silvermoon. So what guilds are gonna rise? Who would you invest in? So as I
Ooh.
said, my 50 cents is that, as we heard that the Remnant players have infiltrated quite a lot of guilds, I think that maybe Phoenix will rise to rank 1.
Who's Phoenix again?
I don't know, but they might rise to rank 1. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think that we're definitely gonna see Polar drop down to guild rank 5 at least.
At least. If
I
not more.
think
If
that-
not more.
If not more. Eldritch is not currently recruiting, so they must be in a sweet spot. Maybe they're just gonna start raiding as well. Nobody knows. They
Oof.
might come in top 3 as well.
And we also know that Winter's Heart is probably not gonna last until the
Yeah.
end of this expansion.
So my predictions is that in the next year we're gonna see Phoenix, Eldritch, No Hard Feelings, 404, and Kitten Club in top 5.
Do you have any do you have any what's it called ambition for Inner Sanctum, Lasse?
I think Inner Sanctum is gonna go a long way the next month, and then I think they might gonna fall.
Yeah.
A bit.
I've heard they have toxic leadership.
Yeah, same.
What are your thoughts on the rankings of Silvermoon, Nikap?
My thoughts on the rankings of Silvermoon is that, in my very humble opinion, Inner Sanctum is going to be the supremely best guild on the realm.
That's
we have
that's
the
a
most
surprise.
experienced raid leader with the biggest nuts and the biggest repertoire of amazing leadership abilities and memes to go with. We also have an Indian officer who's obviously a very, very good player.
I've heard they
and
never
makes
sleep.
a lot of amazing memes. And I think that with the strong officer core and the new amazing healers that Inner Sanctum has gotten, I think Inner Sanctum will soar in the rankings of the server. I will also say I think Halo will take spot number 2, because I heard they have gotten a very, very good rogue player in.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a good prediction.
that's a good prediction. Yeah.
I think Polar might bounce back and get rank 3, with Eldritch still having rank 4, and I don't really know much about Phoenix, so I'm gonna say Phoenix is.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know. Phoenix is like top 3 right now, so I'll probably put them 5th. That would be pretty solid.
So obviously, my predictions for the server is we're gonna completely see a complete turnaround of this realm. I would also put Inner Sanctum as rank 1. I've heard they have an amazing Resto Shaman as well. They have a pretty decent Disc Priest. I heard he pad a lot, but just leave it at that. So they will take rank 1, and I think actually Polar is gonna be number 2. But that's only because Silvermoon is such a shit realm, so they can be number 2 with rank 300. And then, let's see, who would you repeat as rank 3? I'm actually going to go with Kitten Club. They've surprised me.
Kitten Club really seems solid. They rose in no time. Really a no-name that no one had heard of, and suddenly they were just there, cutting edge and everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I think we can expect great things from Kitten Club.
I agree with that. That's very good analysis.
Now,
Lasse, what's next?
So we unfortunately don't have a great deal of content left on this talk show tonight. Obviously, this was only the first edition. We will return in Silvermoon tonight. But I think it's time to give the word to our guest star, NikaLogy or Nikap, and he will talk and guide us through the state of this priest in the Battle for Azeroth beta.
And before we start, I would like to say to anyone, if you don't want to listen to this priest, I can completely understand. But Nika,
You're
take it away.
wrong. Yeah, I have been known to talk about this priest a lot between my friends, and I have very certain opinions about the state of this in BFA. Usually, them being extremely terrible, with high mana costs, probably requiring innovates, terrible rotations, having to spam powered shield a lot, which is obviously terrible. But it has been fixed a lot, so I don't actually have too much to complain about at this point in time since the mastery rework. I will, however, say if discipline keeps being fucking garbage.
And that's it from Nikap. Thank you, Nikap, for
Thank you, Nikap.
those.
Good rewind.
A round of applause for Nikap, everyone. A round of applause.
I've also heard that we have.
And then we're gonna.
that could be set up.
We're gonna move straight onward. Thank you. So I think that's all for tonight.
If you have any
Continue.
questions,
Yeah.
you can ask them
Let us
now.
know.
I've heard that we might have time for an AMA with us.
No, we
If
don't have.
there's a
We don't have
setup.
time for. We don't have time for AMA.
That might be rumored in the next edition.
It might be rumored in the next edition. So if you have any questions, now it's time for us to ask them. Otherwise, we are gonna say thank you for tonight and get you going. What is your
What's
opinion on Holy and BFA?
Seems fun.
Marksmanship.
Looks good.
Yeah, marksmanship.
Marksmanship
I think marksmanship is a
looks better.
good answer.
Very good.
What a groom is? I don't know.
Okay, I have no idea what it is, but from the word, I'm gonna expect that it's something like where you're grooming people. So it could be the things we talked about earlier with the guild grooming players for other guilds, so they can get better guilds.
Yes, Knudsen 1505. I sit down and pee.
That's fucking gay.
Hey, you girl.
And then we have did you hear that Kittyfair might be leaving the guild? Yes, I've heard that. We cannot.
Have you heard these rumors as well?
Yeah, I've heard these rumors, and unfortunately, we cannot confirm or deny if this is true.
We got a question about raid testing.
Done any raid testing? What is Uldir like? I
When
don't
have
think
you
any of us have
raided?
done any raid testing. Have you done any raid testing, Lassie?
No, not yet. And I most likely won't. But I can definitely look up some beta raids for the next Silvermoon stream tonight.
Oh.
If you're interested.
I mean, I have personally not done any raid testing because I can barely get myself to do raiding on live, so why would I do it on beta?
Most of what I've seen of raid testing was yesterday when I was watching some streams and saw Mafra doing very, very bad HPS.
Yeah.
We have a question from.
Vincentia.
We have a
Shout
question
out to
from.
Vincentia.
Shout out to Vincentia. We have a question from Gradax. I heard of the legendary rogue called Manji. Who was he? What happened to him?
Sasso sadly died during a point in time where he tried to walk over the road without being specced into cheat death. He was hit by a truck and died shortly thereafter.
I think he took like 7 stacks on KJ Meteors.
Yeah. He also died on pull. So, rip.
Yes.
Do you wipe your ass while standing or sitting?
Yeah, what about you guys? I do it while standing.
That's so... I mean, obviously I've never seen another man take a shit and then wipe himself. So, to me, the norm is sitting down and doing it. But if I ever saw someone doing standing up, I would probably think they were autistic.
Okay.
Standing up does seem kind of autistic, but I
So
can
you
respect
guys sit
it.
down.
It's a mix.
Yeah.
Depends on how I feel.
Well, I think that we are. If you want to share your opinion on standing or sitting,
We have a
you
quick
should share them in the
question coming in from Joe.
Okay.
He's talking about what is our opinions on Craftfall. I've heard Craftfall is a hardened criminal from Norway.
My opinion on Craftfall is that he is good at sleeping and also he's good at getting ammo tools on probably the first or second raid week.
I've heard rumors that he didn't get cutting edge kill Jaden.
Oh yeah, I think he overslept.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Okay,